To this video on my channel Heaven on Earth. Today I have an unusual confession to make, and it is about something about the video that I did yesterday, that I uploaded yesterday. And it just hit me today. And it's just a subtle thing, but I realized it and I thought there is such a great message in realizing how our subconscious mind is working, how our patterns are sometimes or very often driving our behavior. And sometimes we don't even realize it, or maybe very often, mostly we don't even realize it. But when we become more and more aware, and we raise our consciousness and we become also more and more present in the moment in what we are doing, we become aware of our patterns and how they are driving us. And so what I realized yesterday, I channeled a beautiful message about a new approach to self-image. And before I started to channel, I felt to take a sip out of my glass water. So I was taking my glass, and in this moment, I realized that the glass was full of stains because of the dishwasher. And everything happened like in milliseconds. I was turning my glass a little bit like this before I was drinking it, because in my mind it came up, oh my gosh, this glass looks dirty. It was a clean glass, it was fresh, but it looked like it was dirty because of the stains what glasses get when you put them very often in the dishwasher. So in my mind it was, oh my gosh, this glass looks dirty. And you may not, on the outside, you may not even realize what was going on. But in my mind, this was playing, that I'm taking a sip of water and just turning it a little bit, that my fingers were covering the glass more. And what I realized here, because in this millisecond that it happened, that the thoughts were rushing through my mind, I realized today is that how often we hesitate, we censor ourselves. We do something in a different way, where in a way we put on a mask or we change our behavior because we think, oh my gosh, what can other or could other people think? I was thinking this glass looks dirty. What people think that I'm drinking water out of a dirty glass. So it really hit me so much because, as I shared a couple of videos ago, that I had the impulse to show up more often. And I think that's a beautiful path on the journey when we are becoming more and more of who we truly are, and not trying to be perfect or not trying to put on a mask, because I don't mind when my glass has the stains on, if nobody is watching. But when I am going public here on YouTube and sharing this message, then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, people see this and it looks like this, and what can they think, and all these things are going on. And I just realized how often are we doing it and are not aware of it. And through this, I had another realization, which is not really new, but it hit me again how much energy we are using to try to change our behavior, or maybe try sometimes, or to be different, to show a different face. And just observe yourself. If you find yourself like behaving differently, talking differently, depending on with which person you are talking. And this doesn't mean that we are not like connecting heart to heart with another person, and we are tuning in and like really listening and being compassionate, for example, or truly listening. But I mean, really, when we are listening, we are already having something in our head, in our mind, what we could say, or we could respond. And all these things are going on in our mind where we are trying to be a certain way other than our true, spontaneous self would do the things. And I realize on my journey of showing up and trying to, or not trying, but figuring out how not just how I can express myself more and more, but of course also sh- want to bring my message across. And sometimes we are doing this. And just think about yourself. How often do you maybe use AI, ChatGPT, whatever, to put something in a different way, and so this is how we are censoring. It doesn't mean that we cannot use all these tools and that we cannot use a filter if you feel to do it, but it is it is really the thing to become more and more aware how much energy we are spending to trying to be perfect, to trying to be to cover up something, to try to do something different than we maybe normally would do. And the other thing, the interesting thing is that before I was uploading this video, I saw that I had my lipstick was coming on my tooth, and I was seeing this. It was not there before I started the channeling, but after the channeling, I saw that there was my lipstick on my tooth. And then I was thinking, okay, it's not about this, it's really about the message. And I just uploaded the video. So why could I claim one thing where I said, okay, it's not perfect, but the message is so good. I believe it's really it should go out. It wanted to channel through me this message, because even for me, I felt this message was so valuable, and I just claimed it. I thought it was even funny, it's not a bug, it's a feature, okay? And I just claim it, and I had fun with it in a way, and I felt like it's making me even more free, because I'm not claiming to be perfect. I'm not claiming to to make everything right, whatever that means. But this is what we often do, and what I found myself often doing. I want to make everything right. I want to please other people. I felt, especially the last couple of years, I realized how often in my life I was giving my power away, because I put opinions of other people above my own. I wanted to know what other people think, maybe I need to consider, and so on, instead of trusting myself. And so this is was a big journey, and still is, especially when I started with channeling, to really trust myself, to really trust what was coming through. And of course, especially when I did, and I'm doing channeling for others, when I'm doing readings for others, and I'm getting the feedback and the confirmation, this is also what helped me to be much more confident in what I'm sharing, in what is coming through, and trusting my own intuition, trusting myself. And this is what this message today is all about, you know, because it was really seeing for me, why could I claim one thing what was not perfect, whatever that means? It is perfect, it is something that was just happening during the channeling, and so it was perfect. It doesn't matter. And on the other hand, where I took this class, I had this millisecond where I felt I need to cover it up before I made this sip. And and this is where we can really see, and as I said, that's the message, just go into yourself. And I would really love if you share this with in the comments below. Do you feel in certain situations where you are trying to cover up, where you are trying to to change your behavior, or not trying, you are changing your behavior? In this moment, it was so subtle. Nobody would realize. Wouldn't even need to make this video today about it. But it hit me today, and I felt called to share it because I realized how much we are censoring ourselves, how much we are trying to be different than we would do if we just felt free within ourselves. And everything what I'm sharing here is also about liberating, and I'm doing it for myself, and I'm doing it for you if you are watching this. And this is beautiful. So I would really be interested, how do you experience this in your own life? Do you realize when you think about it, do you censor yourself sometimes? Do you feel like you are behaving differently when you talk to different people? Do you try to put on a mask? Maybe you are in a job, or you are different in one situation than in another one. Or do you really feel so free within yourself that you can be just the way that you are and that you feel within yourself? I don't want to try to put a different face here on my YouTube channel than I'm in my personal life. This doesn't mean that I'm not having privacy, and I'm not sharing, maybe everything, but it's more about feeling free. It's about feeling free of who you are, and not trying to censor yourself and being different with one person than with the other one. If you feel so, we still can choose, but it's really about being conscious, being aware, and just me being aware what my brain was doing in this millisecond was helping me to go on now and to share this message and to liberate myself more. And it's just a tiny little thing. And but it's exactly this, or these are exactly the things where we can become more aware in our daily life. And when I become more aware that I took this class and what I did and what was running in my mind, I can become aware of it in many other things. And this is how we can expand our awareness, how we can become more aware. Are we truly free within ourselves? Can you really be unapologetic? Or do you try to apologize for every move that you make because you think, oh my gosh, how did I do something that another person is not happy with it? And we are trained with it. When I think about my childhood, I tried to be the good girl, to please the environment. And of course, this is a mechanism which keeps us safe. But maybe you know this story with the little elephant, where the story is told in different ways. But let's say there is this little elephant that is in on this little, how do you call this? What you put in the in the earth? Just a little. No, it's different. It's chained. The little ant elephant is chained on yeah, on the earth. Really a big block, and it's chained with this metal chain, and the little elephant tries to move, to go away, and it cannot move. And this little elephant is trying and trying and trying, and it cannot move. And one day it just realizes it doesn't matter how much I try, I'm I'm chained here, I cannot move. And it is conditioned, and they remove the big chain and they put just a little rope and put it in the earth, and the huge elephant is in the meantime it's grown up, and he could escape easily, but he doesn't even try because he is conditioned. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, it will not work out. And this is how our conditioning is working in our life. We are moving in a certain way and we are not realizing. Where in your life are you not moving in the direction where you really would love, and you're thinking, oh, I cannot do this. What would other people think of me? I cannot, I promise to do this and that. Or I, I have a job and I cannot do this. Or I have kids and that's why I have responsibilities. Yes, we may have certain responsibilities, but we have so much power in choosing every single moment, every single day, every single moment we can choose differently in our life. And just me being aware of having the thought in my mind by taking the glass and just thinking, oh my gosh, this looks like this, what may people think of it or of me? It just I just realized what I'm doing and I can change it. And I can be more aware in which situations I may still do it. Try to be different, try to change more my behavior, even it is subtle, because the more you become aware, the more you are like realizing this subtle thing. It's about refining, 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 because I'm working in the field of self development. I mean, in my professional life since 25 years now, but I started to read books in personal development when I was 19. So this is a long time, that I well, I'm working on myself, and I realized like how my paradigms are driving my life, and I started to change a lot, becoming more free, becoming more more aware of it. And still, we have these patterns that we are carrying, and it's like freeing it and becoming more and more liberated and healing it or correcting it and course correcting it, and just releasing this onion, like these layers like an onion. And it's more and more about becoming more and more free, becoming more of who we truly are. And this is who we are. There is actually nothing more exhausting than trying to be somebody else, because the only thing that is actually the most easiest is to be who you truly are, and the most liberating, and the easiest journey. But we have to remember who we truly are. Isn't it strange in a way that we have to remember who we truly are, and we were told and to be something different because what we are is not good enough or too much or too less or whatever, so that we tried to perform. And now we have to remember who we truly are, and we are become more and more free again to trust ourselves. And trusting ourselves means that we can be more and more free. And I'm joking here. And this is it's nothing happens by accident. It's really like I feel like my throat chakra now is really, it's about being the voice. And I'm thinking about the beautiful person Les Brown, maybe you know him. He's a star also in the personal development. And I remember when he was saying, like, you have a voice. And I just like this phrase about him because he said it with such enthusiasm. You have a voice. And what he meant with it was that every single person has a voice, and your voice has a certain frequency. So my message has a certain frequency. My voice is reaching certain people. It's resonating with a certain person, with certain people who resonate with the message, with what I say, but not just what I say, but how I say it, with the experiences that I have, and just how I express it, and others will not. But that's why it is so important that you use your voice and don't censor it, because the right people will find you, and the right people will be grateful that you are using your medicine to give it to them. Because I know I have healing power, and so have you. So, and we all use it differently. But I don't want to censor myself. I don't want to pretend. I don't want to perform a certain way. I just want to be me. And I want to be free to be me. And I want you to be free, to feel so free to be you that you don't have any second thought what other people may think of you, because you are just you, and that's enough. As me, as I'm enough, as I am, the way I am. That's perfect. That's enough. That's yeah, completely beautiful. So embrace this, and I really wish that this message found you at the right place at the right time. If you're still here, it definitely is. And I appreciate you when you are here. And yeah, just embrace this message. Just maybe you want to even come back to this video, and because when you listen until now, you really can, like, watch yourself how this message is influencing you the next couple of days, and you start to be more aware where you may still censor yourself, where you are still hesitating, where you are still holding yourself back, where you are still not being this unapologetic free version that you could be. And I would really appreciate that you come back and you post it in the comments. Do it now, do it later, but I really appreciate you being here. So be the truest, freest, most unapologetic version that you can be. Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in my next video, or read your comments how you are living more and more your true and full authentic self.